back. In the last video, we have covered the control flow statement and we have covered the topics such as conditional statement, decision making statement. Now there is under control flow statement, there is also called as iteration statements. Iteration statements are nothing but the looping statement. Sometimes in programming, we have to execute a block of code multiple times until the condition is true. In Java, the looping statement will be allow us to execute a block of code in a repeated manner, and this execution of the code is must be dependent upon a certain condition. So like a conditional statement, looping statement are also further divided into three types. One is the while loop, another one is the do while loop, and the third one is the for loop. So let us see each one of them individually. So we'll start with the while loop. Okay, so here if you're seeing this one, in all the loops are having a common steps, means they are being part of the same steps, like they all need to be get initialized, and there'll be condition checking, then there'll be an increment and decrement operations. Okay, so we'll start with the while loop. Now if you can see the while loop, what is this while loop? While loop is used for iterating over the statement multiple times. That means, if in a simple words, if I can say, while loop will be going to be executed continuously until unless the condition is true. See, if you want if you don't know the number of iterations, means you don't know like what is the last iteration, what is the last number need to be get executed, then we need to recommend while loop, because as it is going to be executed until unless the condition is being satisfied, right? The moment condition dissatisfied, the moment condition becomes false, then only the loop will be going to be break. Suppose for example, we have given if you can see a little code over here, I have initialized a variable called as m equals to 1, and inside the while loop. So if you see the syntax here, syntax is what first we need to write the initialization and then write down the while and the condition. Why final value is nothing but, what is the final value? It is a boolean expression. Okay, here and then the block of code which need to be executed, that would be written here, statements and that increment and decrement of operations. Okay, and now what happened is, if you see this code which is written here, I have initialized a variable called as m is equals to 1, while m less than equals to 20. So what we are saying that, see, I have initialized a value as m, that is m equals to 1, and in the while loop we are saying that m must be less than or equals to 20. Then print the value of m, and I've also written a increment. I have also increment the m value, m equals to m plus 1, means increment at each iteration, that m value would be incremented. Okay, so m is equals to m plus 1 will increment the value. So when it start 1 less than equals to 20, correct, right? The loop will print the value of m, and then now the new value of m will become as 2. 2 less than equals to 20, right? This is also true. Then the next value of m will become as 2. Then so on until unless the value of a value of m will become as 20. 20 less than or equals to 20, yes, true. Then the m value of 20 would be printed, but again it will be incrementing, and the value of m will become as 21. Now 21 is less than equals to 20, false, right? This is false, so this loop will be terminating. Okay, now I must say why we are writing the increment operator. Suppose I'm not writing this m is equals to m plus 1. Okay, I have removed this m is equals to m plus 1 from the code. What will happen? M value is 1, right? M is equals to 1. M is equals to 1 means 1 less than equals to 20. It is true. It will be continuing, right? It will become like this loop will not break, only this iteration will go on, one that 20 20 20 will be printed, so on, because we have given that we did not write the statement where the condition is becoming false, right? So that is the reason we need to write the increment or decrement statement here. Okay, now we will see the flowchart of this particular while loop. So if you see the flowchart here, how it is being written, First we are writing the statement, and then the condition. If the condition is true, it will going to execute the statement. If the condition is false, then it will breaking the terminating the loop. Okay, now we have seen the while loop. Now we will go and look for the do while loop. Okay, so here in the do while loop, if you see the syntax, see we have to go with the initialization, then we need to write the do keyword, and then the statement, increment and decrement, increment and decrement operators, and then we need to go with the while condition. So this particular, if you have observed the difference between while and do while loop, here the condition is being checked at the last. Okay, here the condition is being checked at the last, and this is that is the reason, I mean, like, where we want at least one statement need to be executed, then we recommend you to go with the do while loop, because it will executing at least one statement before checking the condition. And then what else is here in this one, this is also called as exit control loop. Okay, because the condition is being checked at the last, whereas in the while loop is called as entry control loop, because then the condition was checked at the beginning of it. Here in this one, where the number of iterations are unknown, we don't know how many iterations are there, then we can go with the do while loop. Okay, if you can see the example here, first I have initialized the m value with the 1, and then I have written the do, and then in the do under that we have written the block of code, the statements. I have written the m value, system.out.println means I'm asking to print the m value, and then I'm incrementing the value of m2 plus 1. So it will be first m value would be printed as 1, and then after m value has been printed as 1, then it will go and check the while loop that m double equals to 20. 1 double equals to 20, it is false, right? So it will go and again the m value will increment it, and it will be going to the 2. Now 2 value would be printed, so on until unless the m value turn out to be 20. Okay, if the m value is turning out to be 20, then 20 on 20 is the like condition satisfied, then the loop will break. Okay, so we will see with the flow chart of it. See, what is a flow chart? If the condition do, write down the do and then the statement. If the condition is true, execute the statements, right? Execute the statement. If the condition is false, terminate the loops. So what is the major difference between while and do while is? While is the entry control loop where the condition is being checked at the top at the beginning itself, right? Now in this one do while loop, the condition is being checked at the last, and where we want at least one statement need to be executed, then we need to go with the do while loop. Okay, now we will go to the third loop, that is the for loop. Okay, in Java, it is kind of similar to C and C++. The while loop is like here, what happens is we can initialize the loop variable, we can also perform this condition checking, we can also do increment and decrement operation in a single line of a code, right? Whereas we comparatively in while loop, what we were doing, we were first initializing, then writing the while condition, then writing the statements, right? So here in looping statement, in for loop, we can perform all the steps in a one single line. So when we need to use the loop, when we know this, when we know how many times are we gonna, when we know that how many times we are gonna execute a particular block of code, then we can use the for loop. Now we will see the same example which we have seen earlier. I have used the same m value, I have same initialized the m variable with the value as 1, and the condition which I have given as m less than equals to 20 means I am saying that m value should not be more than 20, and then I am incrementing the value of m with 1. Now I am printing the value in the, and under the for loop, what is the block of code written over there to print the m value, and this would be going to be executed until unless the value of m will turn out to more than 20, right? Each time m is equals to 1, like m1 less than equals to 20, this condition is true, it will print the value of 1. 2, it will print, because 2 is less than equals to 20, true, it will print the value of 2. So on, it will check, the m value will be incremented up to 20. 20 less than equals to 20, yes, correct, so it will print the value of 20. Then the moment the m value will be incremented and reach to 21, it will terminate the loop, right? Because it is, the condition is false. So that is the reason it will be breaking the loop. We'll see an flow chart of it, how we can like write this program. If you remember the flow chart of all the loops and conditional statement, means it will be easy for you to write the code. Okay, so here what is the condition for loop? We are starting, we are initializing it, we are checking the condition. If the condition is true, we are asking the statements to be executed. If the condition is false, the loop will be going to be terminated. Okay, now we shall see with the example here. Inside the see, if you see the example here, there is a I have written a user defined class as a for one. Okay, in this particular example, I'm not taking an input from the user, I'm not asking it, so I'm not going to use any package over here. So I'm just declaring a class, and my class name would be for one, and I'm writing the main method. Inside the main method, we have declare a variable as I can also initialize this variable in the I can also do it inside the for loop as well. But before that, I have declared a variable called as I. And then what I've written, for I is equals to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. That means I'm saying that I value must be 0, then it should be less than 5, and it should be, now I'm incrementing I plus plus or I equals to I plus 1, both are same. Okay, so we are using here. Now what will happen, or what could be the we are not asking to print the value of I, right? I'm not asking to print the value of I. Inside the print statement, I have given a statement as example of for loop. Means this example of for loop would be printed 5 times. Okay, so it will be checking 0 less than 5 true, so that particular statement would be going to execute. Then 1 less than 5, so on up to 5 less than 5, means loop will break, it will be terminating the for loop. Okay, next we are going to see about the jumping statement. Now jump statement is used to do what? It is used to transfer the control flow to another statement. So basically it will transfer, basically we use jump statement when we want to shift or when we want to transfer the control of execution, means control of execution to some other statements. Okay, this is again jump statements are again divided into two types. One is the break statement, another is the continue statement. Now what is a break statement? As the name suggests, break is used for breaking the for loop, or breaking the, in the switch case also we have seen it is used for breaking the switch. Means it will just what it will shift, it will transfer the flow of control to the outside of the block. The moment, see, when we are writing break, what was the condition for the while loop? It will be going to be true until unless the condition becomes false, right? So when I am using a break, supposingly I want to discontinue the while loop, even the condition is satisfied, right? I've given supposingly I've given the like I less than equals to 100. This is the condition written in the while loop. So I don't want to print the value of I less than equals to till 100. I want to stop it in between when I value will become 56, right? So I less than equals to 56. For that one, I have to write I have to give a break. In the break, I have to write that if I value is becomes like less than or equals to 56. Sorry, it's if I value becomes 56, then terminates the loop. Okay, so that is nothing but forcibly, we can say that when we are forcibly terminating the while loop or the do while loop, we need to make use of the break statement. Okay, break statement will jump out of the execution and it will break the loop, even though the condition would be, even though the condition is going to be satisfied, right? So the remaining iteration, which is to be true, that would be skipped. So we are going to see the break statement example. See here, if you look over here, I am writing a class. My user defined class is class name as break1, and then inside that we are writing the main method, and I am writing this int I is equals to 1, and then while I less than equals to 10. Suppose we are giving this I less than equals to 10 is my condition, and inside that one I'm printing that I value must be printed and incremented. So what would be the output if we are writing just a while loop? Suppose if we are writing just a while loop, what would be the output? It value would be printed from 1 to 10, isn't it? That would be the output. But here what we are doing is we are using the break statement to break the loop, to terminate the loop forcibly. So what we are doing, we are writing this, if I double equals to 5, means if the moment I value turn out to be 5, it will be breaking the loop. Okay, so what would be the final output? We are getting the values of from 1 to 4. The moment the I value will reach to 5, it will be breaking the loop. Okay, it will terminate the loop. So that is the one jump statement we have seen. Another jump statement we are going to see is that continue. Okay, continuous word, continue is used to, like unlike the jumps, unlike the break statement, continue is used to skip the iteration, means skip the iteration and continue with the rest of the iterations. Continue is used for skipping the one of the iteration and to execute the remaining iteration. Suppose, for in simple words, if I can say this one, I want to skip a number, right? I am printing 1 to 10 and I wanted to skip some number in between, like 7. So I need to write that continue with the 7 included. So that particular 7 number would be excluded and the remaining number would be going to be printed. We'll see with an example here. In the similar program, see the similar program, I just did some modification. I'm using a for loop here. Okay, now we have declared a user defined class. That class name as continue one, and I'm writing the main method. Under the main method we are writing the for loop, right? For loop will be having all the 3 steps together, that is initialization, condition checking, and writing the increment and decrement operators. Okay, so here we are initializing the I value to be 1, and we are saying that I must be less than or equal to 10, and then I plus plus, right, incrementing the I value. So under that for loop I'm also writing the if statement. Under if statement, what is the condition given over here? I percentile 2, I percentile 2 double equals to 0. That means this percentile modulus will check the remainder of this one. If the I value is I value becomes, like, if it is being divided by with the 2, then the remainder will be 0, then it will continue, it will skip that particular number. For example, 1 divided by 2 is not going to be 0, so 1 is going to be printed. The moment it will increment and the new value of I will become as 2. 2 divided by 2, 2 is a multiple of 2, right? So 2 will be going to be divided and the remainder is also going to be 0. So 2 will be skipped. Then now the value of I would be as 3, right? 3 will be, again the condition will check, 3 less than equals to 10, yes, and 3 is not divisible by 2, so 3 will be printed. Now it will again increment, it will become 4. 4 is again, 4 is the multiple of 2. When we divide 4 we will get the remainder as 2, so the fourth value will also skip. Now it will go to the increment to 5. 5 is not divisible by 2, so 5 would be printed. Then again it will be incremented and move to 6. 6 is again not divisible, right? So 6 is again divisible by 2 and the remainder will come as 0, so the value of 6 will also be skipped. Now it will increment to the 7. 7 is not divisible by 2, so 7 will be printed, and the next value would be incremented as 8. Again it will check in this one. 8 is divisible by 2, so it will be, the remainder will also come as 0. 8 value will also be skipped, and then the value would be incremented to 9. 9 is not divisible by 0, it will be printed 9, and the last value 10 equals to 10. I value incremented to 10. 10 equals to 10. Now 10 is divisible by 2, so the 10 value will be skipped. The moment the I value turn out to be 11, now 11 is, first of all, it is the condition, the for loop itself will break over here, because the condition what we have written is I must be less than or equal to 10. So this was a condition over there. Now I value turn out to be 11, that means it will be breaking the loop itself. So this is how continue work. Okay, continuous statement is used to skip the iteration and jump forward to the next iteration. I hope you have understood the topic of control flow statements and how fundamentally important this particular concept in Java is also we need to think about it. So in the upcoming video we are going to cover the actual programs based on the control flow statement. And if you have any sort of doubts or any sort of comments you want to give it, put it in the comment section. I'll definitely gonna go through it. And if you want any other topic, if you want an explanation, then do comment it down. We're gonna see it. And most importantly, thank you so much for watching this video, and do like, subscribe to our channel.